What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a full album reaction to the Cranberries. Everybody else is doing it, so why can't we? For our friend and longtime patron of the channel, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Always appreciate everything you do for the channel. Carl is just a fantastic member of our Facebook group. Go join that if you haven't already. He does a bunch of stuff on there for us, and just all around knows a ton about music and a great guy. So always appreciate you and all the patrons. I don't know this album. I do know one song off here. I actually own the next album of theirs. So let's go ahead and dive in this. Let's learn a little bit about the Cranberries first. They classify themselves as an alternative rock group, but incorporated aspects of indie pop, post-punk, folk rock, and pop rock into their sound. 5 of the band's albums reached the top 20 on the Billboard 200 chart, and 8 of their singles reached the top 20 on the modern rock chart. I didn't know they had that much success. In January 2018, tragically, lead singer Dolores O'Riordan was found dead of drowning in a London hotel. The Cranberries have sold nearly 50 million albums worldwide. The band ranks as one of the best-selling alternative acts of the 90s. They received an MTV Europe Award, a World Music Award, an International Group nomination at the Brit Awards, a Juno nomination, a Juno win, and a Novello Award for International Achievement, and a BMI Award with a special citation of achievement. With a video for their song Zombie, which now it's going to stick in your head, huh? Zombie. The Cranberries became the first Irish band to reach 1 billion, yes, billion views on YouTube. For this album, quick facts, debut album released in March of 1993 after 4 EPs. The album was written entirely by the band's lead singer Dolores O'Riordan and guitarist Neil Hogan. #1 in Ireland and the UK, where it spent a total of 86 weeks on the UK chart. Went to 18 in the US. And without further ado, we'll kick this off. If you've never watched before or you need a little refresher, the music will not be in the video itself, but there will be a link below where you can watch along with me if you just want to know what I think of it. Just hang around and you will find out. I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. We're going to kick it off with I Still Do. I have research on most of these songs, but there was nothing out there on that, so let's just check this one out. I Still Do, which, you know, it's one of those love songs, so to speak. Really more a love despair song, because I'm not ready for this, though I thought I would be. I can't see the future, though I thought I could see the chorus. I don't want to leave you, even though I have to. I don't want to love you, oh, I still do. So she's saying in the second verse she's got to go away from him. She's got to find herself, try to stand on her own. But, you know, that thing of like, you know, I think a lot of us, if we're older, been in those relationships where we love the person, but we know it's not good for us, or we think we love them, we care about them, whatever. And you know, you got to get out of it, but it's easier said than done. So a good track, I mentioned it while I was going on. I'm always interested to see. They had EPs before. This is the first true LP, first album, and to see what you come in with right out of the gate. Some nice instrumentation, sounds very 90s alt, and I like that a lot. Now we're going to go to the second track, which was their debut single. We got Dreams. It went to number 40 in the US, 30 in the UK. A 1990 demo version was released in Ireland only in the summer of that year under their initial band name, The Cranberry Sauce. So probably good to drop that down to Cranberries. At the end of the songs, the backing vocals are sang by Mike Mahoney, who's an ex-boyfriend of Dolores. According to Dolores, it was written for an early love. She explained, I wrote that about my first love when I was living in Ireland. It's about feeling really in love for the first time. The song was re-released on a demo tape with Linger that helped generate excitement for the band. And then in an interview, guitarist Noel Hogan said of the song, it's only really since Dolores passed away, so this was recently, that I've grown a proper appreciation for songs like Linger and Dreams. They were just songs in the set list for us. Everybody else was losing their mind about them. And when I listen to them now, I realize how great they are for someone so young, which I never ever appreciated until a year ago. We must have played it a gazillion times in our lives and it just becomes a part of the set, but it's different now. We're so lucky to have left that behind, to have that legacy. And you know, it is that tough lesson in life. The cliche is true. You really don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. I must know this song, right? Surely I do, but it doesn't sound familiar. So let's check it out. Okay, so after listening to it, I definitely knew this song. I mean, I don't know what Incredible. I know that first part and just the riff. The instrumentation on the song was fantastic. The drumming in particular was great. You know, it was good on the first song as well. I failed to mention it there. I see that they said that they were listening to a lot of Peter Gabriel's Passion album at this time and a lot of other world music, and that it influenced the song. And the outro there and then the bridge, those are 2 areas where you can really notice that. This is basically, again, to a lover. She's felt this before, but not this strong, so she's in love. And it's just basically, it's that. I want more, impossible to ignore, they'll come true, impossible not to do. And now I tell you openly, you don't have my You have my heart, so don't hurt me. You're what I couldn't find, a totally amazing mind, so understanding, so kind. You're everything to me. So that vulnerability, right, when you go all in with somebody and tell them how much they really mean to you, because you give all your power away when you do that. And she's telling them that, please don't hurt me, but here's how I feel about you. So obviously a fantastic and iconic song. That's going to bring us to the third track, Sunday. And on this one, I didn't really find much. It was a single, but it did not chart. So let's check it out. Well, there you have it, Sunday. Another song about love. This time I think about broken love. Oh, do you know where to go? Something on your mind. Want to leave me behind? You're spinning me round. My feet are off the ground. I don't know where I stand. You have to hold my hand. You mystify me. You mystify me. When you walk in a room, it happened all so soon. I didn't want to know because you really have to go. So she loves this person, or is it love at first sight? I don't know, but the person doesn't really. She says, I didn't find the words to say I love you, and I couldn't find the time to say I need you. So she didn't say what she needed to say. Now it appears that opportunity is gone. I like the instrumentation. It's a very slow roll in the intro. Sounds like a bunch of strings in here. There's no strings attributed to anybody, but I don't think, I think it has to be almost, but it's on the intro and the outro. Really enjoyed that one. Like I said, just a pretty song. And I swear that works as a perfect segue, but I didn't even notice it. The next song is called Pretty. It's a shorter song. Let's check it out. Pretty. You know, it's only 2 minutes, 16 seconds. Has some good guitar work here. Just really wasn't feeling this one. It's okay. Basically just saying, you're not going to change me. You're so pretty the way you are, and you have no reason to be so insolent to me. You're so pretty the way you are, and get the la-las. I read that one of her biggest influence in life is Gregorian chants, and you can feel it in the power. Dolores is probably one of my 5 favorite female vocalists of all time. Not that I even am very familiar with Cranberries material, but just the tone. It just takes me to a happy place. But I'll say in this song and in the previous one, Sunday, at times, you notice, I think it's just the Irish accent, and then it's mixed. Sometimes the mixing on this album so far hasn't been absolutely great, you know? So her voice kind of gets muddied out or almost like mumbled out. And I think that's why it's a combination of the Irish accent and the way that it's mixed. But this song really wasn't a hit for me, but I mean, it wasn't horrible. But now we're going to move on to the next track, Waltzing Back. Waltzing Back. Hey, they're not all going to hit for me. That one didn't really hit for me either. I didn't really care for Dolores's vocal delivery there, although I will tell you the bass work from Mike Hogan was tremendous. The guitar work. The acoustic is Dolores on most of these, and so she does a great job there, and obviously Noel does a good job on the electric. Fergal Lawler and the drums, I mentioned it during the reaction, is the superstar here. So really enjoyed that. I don't know what this song is really about. Who gave them the right waltzing back into your life? Now I feel fear. I wish they'd never come here. What they gonna do? What they gonna say? Taking you away from my life. It's the best I can do. I don't know what it's about, but I feel like it is definitely about something. This is an emotional, personal song. Just from the way, the emotion she sang it with. I did like that part of the vocal delivery. And just the lyrics. I mean, I don't know who's taking who away, but you can feel it in there. And now we're already almost halfway done with the album. Let's go to Not Sorry. Not Sorry. The theme of the album is found love and lost love. It says, I keep on looking through the window again, but I'm not sorry if I do insult you, and I'm sad, not sorry about the way that things went, and you'll be happy, and I'll be forsaken thee. I swore I'd never feel like this again, but you're so selfish, you don't see what you're doing to me. So she's very much lashing out at him and doesn't care if he likes it or doesn't like it. Once again, throughout this album, this instrumentation is alt 1990s, and it's really, really good. Her vocal delivery is really nice, and these songs are also atmospheric, right? It just kind of brings you into it. And now we're halfway through the album. We're going to go to just an absolutely iconic song that I love. I still love, Linger. Despite it being on the original demo that got them signed in 1990, the record label chose to hold off releasing it as a single until 1993. And both the 1991 EP and their debut single Dreams in 1992 had already come out. I don't know what they were waiting on. However, it wasn't until MTV added the video into rotation in late 1993 while they were touring with Suede, known as London Suede in the US. It was reissued, became a top 40 hit in 5 countries, launching the band into international stardom in 1994. It remains the Cranberries' only top 10 hit, which is number 8 in the US, only gold-selling single in the US, 3 in Ireland, only 14 in the UK. When Dolores was auditioned as the lead singer for the band, she wrote the lyrics. Drummer Fergal Laurel recalled the process in an interview saying, it was a Sunday afternoon. She arrived with a keyboard under her arm, just set it up and played a few songs. We couldn't really hear her because she was singing through a guitar amp or something. I gave her a lift up to the bus stop and I was saying, "We will see you next week." We gave her a tape of the music for Linger, which she took with her. The following week she came back and she had lyrics written out and melodies and she sang along to what we were playing. And it was like, oh my God, she's great. It's 86 on VH1's Greatest Songs of the 90s. Dolores said this: "Linger was the first song we wrote. Initially, it was just a chord shape with no real melody or lyrics. I took a table at home, came up with a verse and chorus. I wrote about being rejected. I never imagined that it would become a big song. It was inspired by a night I had at a club called Madonna's. This guy asked me to dance, and I thought he was lovely. Until then, I'd always thought that putting tongues in mouths was disgusting, but then he gave me my first proper kiss. I did indeed have to let it linger. I couldn't wait to see him again, but at the next disco, he walked straight past me and asked my friend to dance." Wow, that's cold, man. "I was devastated. Everyone saw me being dumped publicly at the disco. Everything's so dramatic when you're 17. This is true. So I poured it into the song. Man, I love this one. Let's get after it." Linger. You know, I talk about this a lot if you watch this channel, that, you know, there's certain songs that can take you back to a time and place. That song took me back. Like that, listening to that song was really an emotional experience for me. It's a fantastic song. I'm totally biased on it because it just, yeah, I mean, I was 22 years old when this came out. I just graduated from college. I was in my first job as a teacher and coach. I just met my now wife, you know, all these, and you just start thinking, man, where did time go, man? Like, I can remember this song. It just took me back to everything in that time in the early to mid 90s, man. It's crazy. But enough of my stroll down memory lane, but it's like, wow, where does time go, man? And it basically is just what she talked about, talking to, you know, in the chorus. "But I'm in so deep, you know I'm such a fool for you." She sings this so well. "You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? Oh, I thought the world of you. I thought nothing could go wrong. But I was wrong. I was wrong. If you could get by trying not to lie, things wouldn't be so confused and I wouldn't feel so used. But you always really knew I just want to be with you." And then that chorus again. Everything about this song is just fantastic. And it really defines in a lot of ways the alt rock, you know, 90s of that period, man. Golly, I love that song if you hadn't figured that out yet. And now we're going to check out Wanted. Wanted, basically on the theme of I wanted you, you didn't really want me. I don't know if this is how you wanted it, basically. The drums, Fergal Lawler, the star of this one. The guitar work is also good. It kind of reminds me of the fourth track, Pretty, in that it almost doesn't seem like a completely written song. I mean, it is, and it's fine, but, you know, I wasn't a huge fan. Didn't dislike it or anything, but, you know, it was fine for me. Now we'll move on to the ninth track, Still Can't. Still Can't had a nice little, even a little bit of keys there in there, but, you know, it's the same motif here of like, you wanted it all. No, and there's nothing at all. Maybe you could see beyond your nose, who knows? Nothing of what has happened surely shows, but your ego excelled and then your attitude, and you go on laughing and shouting. It's all too soon. Still can't recognize the way I feel. Nothing of what you said to me was real. So once again, a jilted lover. I don't think you would have wanted to cross Dolores back in the day. You might end up in a song. The riff on it was fantastic. The drumming, once again, was great. Really enjoyed that one. Now we only got 3 songs left. We're going to move on to I Will Always. I Will Always. Boy, that was one I didn't want to end. That was absolutely beautiful. Man, that song is so good. And she's basically telling him, you know, now it's all the same to me. Be whatever you want to be. Go wherever you need to go when it all seems like a mistake. Take whatever you need to take. Leave the rest for my own sake. And then she just sings that beautiful chorus. I will always go beside you. You will always understand it. Man, I mean, she is top notch on this one. I like the stripped back instrumentals and just letting that voice come to the forefront and shine. That is probably going to be one of my favorites. I would find it hard to believe that it will not. Now we're going to move to the last song, How. You know, I mentioned it when it started. The diversity in instrumentation on here, even though it's 90s alt rock, is really impressive from track to track. You know, we come off of a heavy acoustic, Dolores' voice at the forefront. And DeFergal's drumming on this is something else, man. There's some other unique instrumentation in here, but just a really, really well done song, well arranged, well produced, well mixed, because the drumming is just so strong, but her voice is also mixed in there perfectly. And look, it's another one of those where how In your world, you're alone in your face. You're alone in your world. You're alone in your face. How you said you never would leave me alone. How you said you would never leave me alone. Now you're just walking away when you said you would always stay. So another thing, another thing of just, betrayal in the love life. But, when Dolores died, I saw she was 46. That was 3 years ago. I'm 49 now. I'm not great at math. But that means we were the same age, which, boy, she was accomplishing some stuff in 1993 when I had just graduated from college. But in that, I can see that, like, writing these songs at that time in your life where, those beginnings, relationships and stuff when you're in your 20s, especially in your early 20s, they take on, like, added angst. And so when someone leaves you, it's twice as hurtful and almost personal. So I can really, like, relate to where she was in life writing these. And now somehow we're to the last song, which sounds like it's going to stay with the theme, but maybe I'm wrong. But we got Put Me Down. Put Me Down. What a fantastic track to end, right? The instrumentation on it's great. Nice little almost minute-long outro. Bookended the album quite nicely because I still do. The opening track started with a nice little intro. And Dolores just sounds great. Softer vocal presentation here. Let me take you by the hand away from here to another land. Oh, this land to which we live, where people love and are meant to forgive, and you always prove me wrong because you're always putting me down. I can't take it anymore. I decided to leave, walked out the door. So she's leaving because this guy will not stop putting her down, and it's very painful for her. Just a great track. So that's going to take me to my favorite tracks. I'm going to be a little cliched here, go with Dreams and Linger, of course, but I'm also going to go with I Will Always, and the last track we just did, Put Me Down, with honorable mention to I Still Do, the first track, and Sunday, the third track. Now we get to my overall grade. I knew Linger. I knew Dreams, although I didn't know I knew Dreams, right? But I did know Dreams. Otherwise, I didn't know anything else off this album. But, I don't think this is an album that you're going to be lukewarm on, right? I think you're either going to vibe with the sound and the presentation, or you're not. So for me on first listen, it's going to be an 8.0. It's super strong. Takes me back to a time and place. Holds up, and I'm going to be spinning this album some more in my chill time. Not that I have a lot of chill time as we're running this channel, which is a good problem to have. But Carl, always appreciate you. Thank you for bringing this to me. And until next time, guys, I will see you.